Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Test 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2. And good afternoon and welcome to Lexington County Baseball Stadium in Lexington, South Carolina for today's game between the Oswego State Lakers, 3-5 on the season, and the Case Western Reserve University Spartans, 7-4 on the campaign. Good afternoon, everyone. Beautiful day for baseball here. Temperature in the high 70s, maybe even right around 80 at this point. It's sunny out. Can't ask for better than this, and the Spartans hoping to keep things going after a very impressive showing, an 11-8 win their last time out against Trinity. Had the off day yesterday, and now looking to get things started up here again to begin the final stretch. One game today against Oswego State, and then tomorrow the Spartans will face Ithaca and Oswego on their way out of town. So we are looking forward to getting going here in just a few minutes, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get you lineups for both teams, beginning with the batting order for the visiting team in today's game. That will be Oswego State. Joe McLaughlin will be leading things off and playing center field. Daniel Winchester batting second and playing short. C.J. McCarthy is the left fielder and hitting third, and then Owen Parliament playing first base and hitting cleanup. Jelani Hammer, the third baseman, bats fifth. Jacob Levine, the designated hitter, batting sixth. Felix De Aza de la Cruz will be the right fielder and batting seventh. Anthony Barone catching and batting eighth. And Dylan Rosenberg will be the second baseman. He'll hit ninth. Sean Derdinger will be the pitcher. We'll tell you more about him in the bottom of the inning as he takes the hill. In the meantime, defensively for the Spartans in this one, first baseman is Dane Camphausen. Second baseman today will be Zach Carinci. Good to see him back out on the field. The shortstop is Nate Arterburn, and the third baseman is James Powers. In the outfield, getting the start in left today is Franco Alonso. The center fielder is Logan Andreco. And the right fielder is Nick Harms. Doing the catching, Jack Anderson. And on the mound is the first-year righty, Tyler Stilson, out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Stilson making his second appearance and first career start of the year. He is a 3.37 ERA. He's thrown 2 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, an opponent's batting average of .385 against Stilson, who will get things going here in just a moment against the top of the order for Oswego State, Joe McLaughlin, Daniel Winchester, and C.J. McCarthy. McLaughlin set to lead things off, batting a .417, squares to bunt, takes the slider a little outside for a ball, and it's 1-0 as we get underway here. McLaughlin hitting a .417 on the year with no home runs and 2 runs batted in. Little outside again, and it's 2-0. Stilson will feature mostly fastball, slider, can throw the changeup as well. He's working on a cutter as well, but shouldn't see too much of that today. 2-0. Swing and a miss on the 2-0, and it's 2-1. So McLaughlin swinging at that 2-0 pitch. Good changeup there by Stilson. Stilson working with the full wind. Delivers the 2-1. There's a curve for a strike. Might have been slider, actually. Either way, it's 2-2. You see fewer and fewer pitchers using that full windup, especially this at the Division III level. A lot of pitchers now working from the stretch. 2-2 on the way. And, boy, that just missed for ball 3. Full count 3-2. Might have been a shade up and in with that slider. Now here's the 3-2. And that's right in there for a called strike 3. Got McLaughlin looking at a slider for the first out of the inning. So the first batter sat down on strikes by Stilson, and that'll bring up Daniel Winchester. Winchester hitting at .387 on the year. He's driven in 1. 12 for 31. One of his 12 hits has been a double, his only extra base hit of the season. And maybe a shade up high brings the count to 1-0. In the dirt, 2-0. Winchester went 0 for 4 when these two teams met last week. I shouldn't say last week. It was on Sunday, only a couple days ago. Feels like it was a while ago now. Is that one down low? Ball 3-0. The Spartans came away with a 7-3 win over Oswego State. And right down the middle for a called strike. Count goes to 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And knee high for a strike, 3-2, full count. So count goes full on Winchester, 3-2. Stilson came slider last time. Let's see what he comes with here. Swing and a miss, strike 3 at the fastball. And that's back-to-back strikeouts to start the game for Stilson. So 2 away here in the first. And the batter now will be C.J. McCarthy, batting at .370 on the year, 10 for 27. 1 home run, 2 runs batted in. McCarthy hit leadoff in the first matchup against the Spartans as he takes a called strike, 0-1. Both of his hits singles. On the outside corner, 0-2. And Stilson seems to be dialing in a little bit more now. A strike away from a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the 0-2. And that one stays up high, 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt, strike 3. Anderson throws to first to complete the out. And it's a quick inning for Stilson, who strikes out the side in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We'll move along into the bottom of the first, and we are scoreless between the Spartans and the Lakers. And let's go ahead and get you the batting order for Case Western Reserve. Logan Andreyko will be leading things off. He's been red hot lately, homers in each of his last 2 games. Jack Anderson is heating up, and he'll bat second. James Powers in the 3 spot in the order. He'll be followed by Nick Harms, the right fielder, and then Dane Camphouse in the first baseman batting 5th. It'll be Zach Carinci in the 6th spot. Good to have him back in the lineup. He'll be followed by Franco Alonso, the left fielder. Carson Walker, the designated hitter, batting 8th. And then Nate Arterburn, the shortstop, rounding out the lineup in the 9-hole. Defensively for the Lakers, at first base, Owen Parliament. Second baseman is Dylan Rosenberg. The shortstop is Daniel Winchester, and the third baseman is Jelani Hammer. In the outfield, C.J. McCarthy in left. Center fielder is Joe McLaughlin. The right fielder is Felix de Asa de la Cruz. And doing the catching, Anthony Barone. And on the mound is Sean Derdinger. Derdinger, who wears number 31, a senior, 5'11", 180 pounds, out of Pearl River, New York. Nanuet High School. The righty, off to a good start to his year, has made 1 appearance out of the bullpen, and it was good. Picked up the win in the game through 4 2/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, a walk. So he was very effective in his first outing of the year, and we'll look to keep that going here today against the Case Western Reserve team that all of a sudden is really starting to wake up at the plate. Coach Englander said earlier, he said, hey, we are sort of at a point right now where we're ready to take off with our bats, and certainly showed some signs of that in the last game. Derdinger's 1 appearance came against Salisbury back on March 3rd, so a really good team in Salisbury. Went 4 2/3, gave up 2 hits and a walk in that game. Again, picked up the win. Had an ERA of 5.23 in 2022, 6.87 last year. And off to a strong start to his senior campaign. do want to take a look and see, because there was one game that Oswego State didn't have stats for, and I'm curious to see if he pitched in that one. It was the 15-8 win over Trinity. So we'll take a look at that as we go on. In the meantime, Logan and Draco will be the batter and takes the first pitch at the knees for a called strike, 0-1. Good fastball that darted in towards his back foot. And the count goes to 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Little outside, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at a good fastball inside. Strike 3. Derdinger on 4 pitches strikes out Andraco, and there's one gone. So with Andraco down, that'll bring up Jack Anderson batting at .341 on the year. He's been hitting it well lately, and his numbers starting to rise accordingly. And OPS over 1,000, up to 1046. And takes the first pitch there for a ball, 1-0. In the air, deep towards right, but playable. Over to get it in right field and put it away for the out is Deaza de la Cruz, and there are 2 gone. And so Derdinger close to working a quick inning here. He's thrown just 6 pitches to get his first 2 outs. And will now face James Powers at the plate. And that's in the dirt, and it hit Powers on the foot. So Powers hit by a pitch. And the Spartans have their first base runner of the game. I'll bring Nick Harms to the plate. Let's see if Harms can get a hold of one here. He's batting at .244 on the year. 2 home runs, a team high 14 runs batted in for Harms. Breaking ball stays down low, and it's 1-0. Harms sitting on 22 career home runs still, 1 shy of setting a new program record. And the ball has been traveling today, and so today might be a good day for Harms to get a hold of one here. He's been close a few times this week. The 1-0. Hits it on the ground, hard towards second and through. And Harms will be safe at first. It'll go as an error on the second baseman to prolong the inning. A hard hit ball, but right at the second baseman, one he certainly should have had. So now with 2 outs, 2 on for Dane Camphausen. Camphausen has already homered twice this week. One of those home runs coming against Oswego earlier in the week. First pitch. And a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Camphausen, 12 hits and 46 at-bats this year, 10 runs scored. He has a triple, 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in. And he hits that one deep towards left, and it is gone. Dane Camphausen with a 3-run home run, his 3rd of the week here in Lexington. He may be looking for real estate around here if he keeps hitting like that. And it gives the Spartans an early 3-0 lead. A no-doubter from Dane Camphausen. Well, Dane's bat is starting to wake up. Not that he was off to a slow start necessarily, but the power is now there for Big Dane, and Boy, he is having a huge impact right now on the team. So that'll bring Zach Carinci to the plate. Good to see Zach back in the lineup. First time he's played since the opening weekend. Called strike, and it's 1-1. Zach playing second base for the first time in his Spartan career. Hits that one hard to second base. Another chance out there for the Oswego State second baseman, Rosenberg, who makes the play this time and gets the final out of the inning. But the Spartans, after making 2 quick outs to start the inning, a hit batter, an error, and a 3-run homer for Dane Camphausen puts Case Western on the board. It's 3-0. The Spartans with the lead after 1. We'll be back. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Oswego, Parliament, Hammer, and Levine when we come back. Owen Parliament leading off the inning for Oswego, with the Spartans leading early on here, 3-0 on a 3-run homer by Dane Camphausen. Called strike as Tyler Stilson delivers one at the knees. Now the 0-1 on the way. Hit hard, foul, and it's 0-2. Stilson struck out the side in the top of the first. Head in the count here, 0-2 on Parliament. Here's the 0-2. Down and out for a ball, 1-2. And that one stays up high, 2-2 the count. 20 pitches deep into the game now for Stilson. Spartans should be in fairly good shape bullpen-wise today, if needed, but hoping to get a little bit of length out of Stilson in this one. I believe it was a changeup that got fouled off, 2-2. See if Stilson tries to stick him with a fastball here after throwing him the off-speed pitch just a moment ago. 2-2. Breaking ball foul back. Parliament still on it. It remains 2-2. just missed. 3-2 the count. Thought he might have caught that outside corner with that one. Instead, it's another full count, the third through the first 4 batters for Stilson. Here's the 3-2. And that stays up high, ball 4. First walk issued today by Stilson and the first base runner for Oswego.
For the Lakers, the third baseman, number 1, Jelani Hammer.
So I'll bring up Jelani Hammer, hitting at 300 on the year. And he grounds that one toward short. See if the Spartans can turn 2. Arterburn to second for 1. Carinci able to hold the bag. No shot at a play at first, but a good job to get the 1 out. And a good job by Carinci, who had to play first baseman there at second base to make sure that ball didn't get into the outfield. So it'll go as a fielder's choice, and there's now 1 out in the inning. Batter now, the plate will be Jacob Levine. Swings through an off-speed pitch, and it's 0-1. Runner goes. Pitch taken low for a ball. Throw not in time. And getting second is Hammer. That is his 4th steal on as many tries this year, and he's now in scoring position with 1 away for Levine as the count goes even 1-1. Levine 3 for 22 on the season. He has driven in 6 runs. It's that one foul, and it's a 1-2 count. Levine has struck out 8 times through the first 6 games he's played in. We are missing stats for one of the Oswego State games. Here's the 1-2. And he goes around, strike 3. Anderson slaps the tag on him. 4th strikeout of the game for Stilson, and there's 2 outs now with a runner on at second here in the second. And the batter will be Felix Diaz de la Cruz, the starting right fielder. He's looking for his first hit of the year, 0 for 5 so far. Down and away, ball 1. Diaz de la Cruz out of Utica, New York. Utica Proctor High School, 5'11", 205 pounds. 1-0 offering. And he sends that one foul, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Hit hard and through for a base hit. That should get the run across. It will, as Hammer will score from second. The throw comes into second base, holding De La Cruz on at first, but it's an RBI single for De La Cruz. And Oswego on the board here in the second. It's now 3-1. So 2 outs, runner still on at first, and the batter will be Anthony Barone. Barone looking for his first hit of the year. He's 0 for 2 so far. Be interesting to see if Deasa de la Cruz is running here, as that's a called strike 0-1. He was not moving on the first pitch. He's looking down pretty hard at that card he carries that shows signs. You wonder if something's on here. You know, sometimes you got to be careful if you're a hitter, and they give hitters a lot of times now those cards, and, you know, they give them the signs, they're signaling, so nothing going on there. Is a little bit of a quick pitch from Stilson. Brings the count to 1-1. But yeah, sometimes, you know, if you're a hitter, you could give away the fact that a play might be on when you're voraciously reading that card in front of you. You know, you kind of look over to the coach is flashing some signs, you look down at your card, you kind of have your finger out, pointing at it, trying to figure out what he's trying to say. Well, usually that means that he's not trying to say just stay there at first. He's saying something's on. That ball hit in the air, right field, deep along the line. Long run over for Harms, but he runs out of room as it lands in foul territory. And that brings the count to 1-2 on Barone. We'll see if Stilson can get through the inning here without another run coming across. Here's the 1-1. 1-2, excuse me. Swung on, hit softly, back towards second. Going to be a tough play for Carinci. Has to barehand and throw, and he gets it there in time. Well, Zach Carinci's probably saying to himself, he's used to playing the hot corner where he has to rush the throw. Second base, you're supposed to be able to breathe easy, but Carinci, no problem on that one. 4-3 the putout. Barone retired, and we'll move along into the bottom of the second. 3-1, Spartans still leading. It'll be the bottom of the order. Alonzo Walker and Arterburn due up when we come back. Spartans leading 3-1 behind a 3-run homer by Dane Camphausen in the first. Spartan bats going back to work here in the bottom of the inning, bottom of the second. It'll be Alonzo Walker and Arterburn due up. Franco Alonzo, who is getting the start in left field today. He's played all over the place for the Spartans. Second base, shortstop, third base. Now in left field. And a real useful player so far. The graduate student transfer from Cornell. And he's hit well. 348. Hitting the ball pretty hard right now. He's 8 for 23 on the season. 4 runs scored, 4 runs batted in. One of his 8 hits was a triple. His only extra base hit thus far on the season. And hits that one hard but foul. Over towards the parking lot. Right where I've been parking my car when I've been driving it here. But fortunately, I returned the rental, and so I could breathe a sigh of relief that Franco didn't just take out one of my windows. The 0-1 inside. Alonso turns away from that one as the count goes to 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Called strike, 1-2. Fouled off. Count stays at 1-2. Derdinger in his second inning of work delivers the 1-2 pitch. Alonso hits that one deep towards right center field. Back at the wall, and it's gone. Oppo Taco for Franco Alonso, and the Spartans on top 4-1. If I'm not mistaken, the first home run of Alonso's collegiate career. Don't believe he hit one for Cornell. And he goes the opposite way to get it. So the Spartans have 2 hits in the game, and both of them have left the yard so far. And I said it earlier, the ball is flying in this ballpark today on a warmer day. And so far, the Spartans have been taking advantage of it. So the base is empty, nobody out, and now Carson Walker will be the batter. Walker is hitting at .391 on the season. The first-year designated hitter really making an impact early on in his career. Misses outside with that one. Walker out of La Jolla, California, and, you know, from that area, granted he's a little young. It's called a strike, 1-1. His swing and his stance at the plate and his even his hitting approach remind me a little bit of Tony Gwynn looking at him. That one's in the dirt. And again, when I make those comparisons, I always, you know, not that he's necessarily as good as Tony Gwynn was, who is, but you look at his approach, you look at what he's trying to do, and you got to imagine that, you know, as a kid who grew up in the San Diego area, you have to be familiar with Tony Gwynn, even though Gwynn probably played his last game 5 years before Carson was born. But kind of has that style of approach at the plate. He reached a little for that one and didn't get all of it. Over towards third base. In to get in and making the catch is Rosenberg for the out, and there's one gone. And that's one that Walker will go back to the dugout here and they'll tell him, hey, you got a 3-1 count. We want you to stay aggressive, but maybe don't go quite reaching for it like that. And, yeah, Coach Englander's calling him over, I think, a little bit right now just to talk a little bit about that approach because he went reaching pretty good for that pitch. And, again, not what you want to do when you've got the count in your favor there. You could sit and wait for your pitch, not take a cut at the pitcher's pitch. First pitch fouled back by Nate Arterburn, the shortstop for the Spartans. Another first-year player making a quick impact on the team. Called strike there, brings the count to 0-2. Arterburn started the last 3 games now at shortstop. He's hitting at .304 in the year with 5 runs batted in. And swings and misses at the ball in the dirt for strike 3. So 2 gone. Derdinger trying to bounce back after the leadoff home run to Alonso. Looking to retire the next 3 in a row. He sat down the next 2, and now will face Logan Andreyko, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging and takes a called strike to start his second at-bat of the game, 0-1 the count. Now the 0-1 pitch. And the nice slider catches the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Derdinger about to throw his 30th pitch of the game. So far, so good for him with the exclusion of the 2 home runs he's allowed. But besides those 2 big blasts, he's done a good job keeping his pitch count down. He's Yet to allow a hit other than the 2 home runs, but obviously, as they say, nothing matters before the bud, and in this case, the bud is the 2 home runs the Spartans have hit. Slider a little outside, brings the count to 2-2. And Draco hitting at .367 on the year. He's been great this year. And he muscles that out to shallow left, and that'll drop in for a base hit. Good piece of 2-strike hitting by Logan and Draco to pick up the 3rd hit of the game for the Spartans. With Logan, coming into this season, if you looked at the guys that the Spartans thought were going to be their top hitters, they would have said Jack Anderson. They certainly would have said Nick Harms, maybe a James Powers who was here already, Zach Carinci, Dane Camphausen. What Logan has done in the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season now is that he's moved himself into that group, and he's certainly among the elite hitters on this team right now, without a doubt. One of those other elite hitters is coming up to the plate, Jack Anderson. He flew out to right in his first at-bat. Runner on at first and 2 away. And the curve catches the inside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. See how aggressive and Draco gets at first. He's stolen 3 bases on as many attempts this year. I'll throw down to first just to check on him. 4-1 the score. A couple of home runs for the Spartans have given them the early lead in this one. A 3-run blast in the first for Camphausen and a solo shot to start off this inning, the second for Franco Alonso. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball misses low to Anderson. It's 1-1. Derdinger ready on the hill. Now delivers. And one misses outside. 2-1. Tell you, Derdinger quick to the plate, and he gets that ball on the hitter really quick. Draco aggressive lead at first. Here's the 2-1. Not going as the pitch is in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher, Barone. Brings the count, though, to 3-1. Three and one here. If you're Derdinger, have to be careful with Anderson at the plate. Even on a 3-1 pitch. Here comes the 3-1. And Anderson lifts that one down the line and right, and it's foul. There is not a lot of room in foul territory down that side of the field. And I believe that one clanged off of the low wall that shields the bullpen from the field. There is maybe about a foot of space, give or take, down that line out there. So somehow Anderson found that. So full count now. That'll put Andraco on motion at first base. With a full count and 2 away. Anderson waiting at the plate, trying to find a gap here and score Andraco. Here's the 3-2. And he lifts it in the air, foul, and well out of play. We'll do this one all over again. And Draco's got good enough speed that if Anderson can find a gap, that should score Andraco. And notable because finding gaps is what Jack Anderson does. He was second among all Division III players in doubles last year. Here's the 3-2. Runner goes. Swung on, grounded, third base side, but foul. So Anderson working line to line here, but hasn't been able to find a hit yet in this at-bat. Good at-bat, though, to make Derdinger work. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Anderson. He's fouled off the last 3 he's seen. Here's the 3-2 once again. Andraco will get the start, the pitch. And foul tipped into the catcher's glove for strike 3. So Anderson down swinging. Third strikeout of the game for Derdinger. And that will end the second. But the Spartans get a run back in the bottom of the inning, scoring it on the solo home run by Franco Alonso. We'll move along into the top of the third, and the Spartans are leading 4-1. Due up this inning for Oswego, 9-1-2 in their order. Rosenberg, McLaughlin, and Winchester when we come back. Welcome back. Is Case Western Reserve leading 4-1. I would like to point out that if you're looking at the scoreboard now, on Pi Day, by the way, the Spartans scored 3 in the first, 1 in the second, and have 4 runs total, 3-1-4. For those of you who are math majors at home. For those of you who might not be and just missed that reference entirely, go ahead and enjoy some pie today. That's pretty good, too. It'll be the top of the third inning, and the Spartans with a 4-1 lead over Oswego. Tyler Stilson, his first pitch to the 9-hitter. Second baseman Dylan Rosenberg misses down and in for ball 1. 1-0 the count. So far, so good for Stilson, who struck out 4 in the game. Allowed 1 run on 1 hit so far. Here's the 1-0. And it's fouled back, 1-1. Spartans have the game against Oswego today, and then tomorrow it will be Ithaca up first. That game, by the way, now scheduled for a 10 a.m. first pitch instead of 11. They've moved it up an hour. Up high with that one, 2-1. Two one from Stilson. So it'll be 10 a.m. and then 1:30 against Oswego for the third and final time of the week. 3-1 now the count. Swing and a miss, 3-2. And a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Rosenberg down looking, strikeout number 5 for Stilson, and there's 1 gone here in the third. Well, it's not quite what Quinn Saunders did on Tuesday, but 5 strikeouts so far for Stilson among his first 7 outs. Now back to the top of the order, and going around at the first pitch is McLaughlin, unable to hold up, 0-1. Now it's 0-2. Stilson, you can tell he's feeling it. He's working quickly. And broke off a good pitch there. Nice job by McLaughlin to foul it off. Count stays at 0-2. Here's the 0-2 offering. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second time McLaughlin has been down on strikeouts, and there are 2 quickly retired. So with 2 outs, that'll bring up Daniel Winchester. Winchester struck out swinging in his first at bat, and that one will miss down and into him, 1-0. Winchester now hitting at .375 on the season, called strike 1-1. Winchester, the freshman, you can tell he's going to be a pretty good player for this Oswego team. Takes that for a ball, 2-1. He's 12 for 31 on the season, but now 0 for 6 in 2 games, 0 for 5, in 2 games against the Spartans. Hits that one in the air deep towards right. That could be trouble. Back is Harms, and he makes the catch in the corner for the final out of the inning. So Nick Harms tracking that one down, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Stilson. Second time he sat the side down in order through 3 innings today. We'll move to the bottom of the third. 4-1 the score. Heart of the Spartans order. Powers, Harms, and Camphausen due up when we come back. Spartans leading 4-1. Home runs in each of the first 2 innings for Case Western Reserve, and they'll send the heart of the order to the plate this inning, looking to add to it. Powers, Harms, and Camphausen due up. Powers was hit by a pitch with 2 outs in the first, and that started a little rally for the Spartans that resulted or ended in a Dane Camphausen 3-run homer. Powers batting at .327 on the year, leads the team with 8 home runs and tied for the team lead with 14 runs batted in. And Powers takes the back foot slider there for a ball, 1-0. Now the 1-0. And sent foul. 1-1. Powers, a graduate student transfer in his first year with the program, coming over from Anna Maria College. The 1-1 on the way. And he hits that into the air deep towards center field, but playable. Over to get it and make the catch is McLaughlin, and that'll be the first out of the inning. So Powers hit it hard, but got under it just a little bit. And it results in the first out of the frame. So 1 gone, and now Nick Harms will be the batter. Harms reached on an error in his first at-bat and scored a run. Hit a ball hard to second base. One that Rosenberg should have made a play on, and instead Couldn't field it cleanly, and Harms, who has good speed, able to beat it out to first. Fastball down Main Street to Harms, and the count goes to 0-1. Nick's average down to 239, but you get a feeling it's only a matter of time for him. That ball hit deep towards left. Still going back on the track, making the catch, is the left fielder McCarthy. And there are two gone. So 2 outs. That's now 3 straight retired by Derdinger. And now Dane Camphausen will be the batter with the bases empty. Camphausen 1 for 1 with a 3-run homer. Takes a called first strike, and the count goes to 0-1. And a big swing and a miss, 0-2. So Derdinger a chance for a quick third inning here. A strike away from retiring the side in order. This is up high with that one, and it's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way. And boy, that might have missed just a shade up high, and that'll bring the count full 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Chopper hit towards short, fielded cleanly there. Throw onto first by Winchester, in time to get the out, and that'll end the inning. So Camphausen grounds out to short, a 1-2-3 inning on the mound for Derdinger, and we'll move along into the top of the fourth. Heart of the Oswego order due up. McCarthy, Parliament, and Hammer when we return. Tyler Stilson working with a 3-run lead, but has to navigate the middle of the order this inning. Against Oswego, first pitch down low to McCarthy, and it's 1-0. McCarthy was a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. Another one down low, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 offering. Stilson taking a second here. Now gets the pitch he wants. Rocks and delivers. And swung on, grounded hard towards second. Nice job by Carinci, who throws on to first in time to get the out. And there's one gone. Hard hit ball, but Zach Carinci game for it over at second base. And there's one gone now. That is 5 straight sat down by Stilson, who's still allowed just 1 hit today. And that will bring Owen Parliament to the plate. Parliament drew a walk in his first at bat. That led off the second inning. Well, excuse me, swing down the line at third, and it'll roll foul. Good job by James Powers there, who had the option of picking that up in fair territory and making a hard, if not impossible, play at first base, or letting it roll foul. And as soon as he saw it turn foul, he made the right move and just got out of the way of the ball on that one. So it's 0-1 now on Parliament, who's a .385 hitter on the season, the cleanup hitter for Oswego State. 1 home run, 3 runs batted in this year for Parliament. Swings and misses, 0-2. Now the 0-2 from Stilson. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout for Stilson. That's 7 already for him with 2 outs in the 4th. 6 straight batters retired. Now Jelani Hammer will be the batter. Hammer grounded one to short, reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. Eventually came around to score what has been, to this point, the only run of the game for Oswego. A little low, and it's 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Another one low. That one hit the dirt, and it's 2-0. We'll see how far the Spartans push Stilson today. As is 2-0. Up and out, 3-0. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And right at the knees for a strike, 3-1. Up high, ball 4. Second walk of the day issued.
10 and 130. 10 and 130 tomorrow. Right.
So 2 walks, 1 hit today allowed by Stilson, and now the batter at the plate will be Jacob Levine, who struck out swinging his first time up. And Levine leading the team in RBIs this year with 6. But he's hitting just 136, has struck out 8 times on the year. That one popped up. Fouling out of play, 0-1. Runner at first, 2 away. The 0-1 on the way. 0-2. We'll see if Tyler can get through the inning without any further damage. The 0-2 in the dirt. Misses down low, 1-2. Tyler will go quick sometimes, and it'll work especially quick. We've seen it a few times with runners on base to try to keep them in steal situations as close as possible. Here's the 1-2 from Stilson. Now taking his time. Delivers. The runner goes. The pitch popped up, fouling out of play. Yeah, you could sort of see Stilson's game plan and how he approaches steal situations on the mound and how he tries to control the running game. He varies his time to the plate. That last time really took his time, held it for a while, tried to catch the runner jumping. Before that, he basically got the ball and threw it. Quick look over to first. Hammer takes the lead from there. Here's the 1-2. Runner not going this time, and it's down low, ball 2, 2-2. Two from Stilson. Runner, he had him leaning. The tag is applied, and he's out. So Stilson got Hammer leaning. He's picked off at first, and that'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. Stilson faces the minimum in the fourth despite allowing the walk, and we'll move along into the bottom of the fourth. Carinci, Alonso, and Walker. 6, 7, and 8 in the Spartans order. Due up when we come back. Four-1 the score. Spartans leading. A 3-run homer in the first by Dane Camphausen. A solo shot in the second by Franco Alonso. And the Spartans have a 4-1 lead, excuse me. It'll be Carinci, Alonso, and Walker due up here. Again, Carinci back in the lineup for the first time since the opening weekend. 0 for 1 in the game, but hit a hard ball at second base his first time up. And again, just good to see Carinci back in the lineup. Zach set the program record with, I believe, a 32-game hitting streak last season. Just such a good hitter. And his bat in there just gives this lineup a little extra boost. The 0-1. And on the outside corner, 0-2 from Derdinger, who begins his fourth inning of work. 0-2 on Carinci. Down and out, 1-2. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Carinci down swinging. Derdinger's now sat down 5 in a row. Now bring Franco Alonso to the plate. Well, if I didn't call him Pete when he hit the home run to the opposite field, I'm somewhat comfortable that I probably won't be making that mistake this year. But Alonso hit his first collegiate home run. A solo shot over the wall in right center. He sent one over the opposite field wall. Called strike, brings the count to 1-1. 1 out, base is empty. Franco is now up to 375 on the year, and he hits that one in the air deep towards right field. Over towards the line, and no play on it down that line. I believe lands right on the other side of the bullpen. And the count goes to 1-2. Alonzo out of Pasadena, California, Polytechnic School. 6'2", 195 pounds. And that ball popped up. Should be playable. Long run now going towards the dugout, and it lands right on that top step of the dugout. And so the count remains 1-2, and Alonzo will get another shot here. Carson Walker waiting out on deck. And the breaking ball catches the inside corner, called strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning for Derdinger. That's now 5 in the game for him.
The designated hitter for Case Western Reserve, number 19, Carson Walker.
Now Carson Walker will be the batter with 2 outs and the bases empty. Walker 0 for 1, popped out to third base in his first at-bat on a 3-1 pitch. And he takes the first one up high, ball 1. Now the 1-0 offering. Derdinger with a full wind, rocks and delivers. And that one stays up and in, 2-0. Checks his swing. And it goes to 3-0. Pitch. Walker was taking all the way there and takes a strike, 3-1. You know, the Spartans hitters all have the ability to swing at 3-0. But smart play there by Walker to hold up on that one. 3-1. And he pops this one up behind home plate and it'll get out of play. Better cut at 3-1 this time than he had last time. Either way, it results in a strike. So full count, 3-2. Three-two pitch. And a called strike 3. So Derdinger strikes out the side in the 4th. He's retired 7 straight Spartans now. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on in the 4th inning. And we'll move to the 5th. It'll be Levine, Dela Cruz, and Barone due up for Oswego when we come back. Tyler Stilson, who's allowed just 1 hit through the first 4 innings, begins inning number 5 with 67 pitches. Again, we'll see how deep into this one Stilson gets. It's 4-1, Case Western Reserve leading in the game. Top of the 5th, and it'll be Levine, Dela Cruz, and Barone due up. Levine was up to the plate last inning, had 2 strikes on him when Jelani Hammer was picked off at first base. So he'll get a fresh start here against Stilson after striking out swinging back in the 2nd inning, and he promptly fouls off the first pitch he sees, 0-1. Now the 0-1. A little down and out, 1-1. Job by Jack Anderson to try to frame that on the outside corner. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. 1-2 the count. Nobody out. First batter of the 5th inning. Stilson delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Levine down swinging for the second time today. 8 strikeouts now for Stilson in this one. So 1 out, base is empty, and the batter will be Felix de Asa de la Cruz, who has the only hit of the game so far for Oswego, an RBI 2-out single back in the second. Called strike, and it's 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch. In there for a called strike, and it's 0-2. De Asa de la Cruz, a senior. The 0-2. Popped up, shallow center, could be trouble on Draco coming in. Now gives way to Harms in right, who gets underneath it and makes the catch. As that one hung up there long enough for him to get to. And there are 2 gone. So they'll bring up Anthony Barone to the plate. Barone, the senior of New City, New York. Trying to avoid another 1-2-3 inning for his team. And he will. Base hit into center field. So Barone with his first hit of the season. He singles to center, and there's a runner on with 2 away now for the 9-hitter, Dylan Rosenberg. So if nothing else, Barone clears the 9 spot in the order here with Rosenberg, who struck out looking his first time up, coming up to the plate. Rosenberg now hitting a .250 on the season. And a strike ties him up there. The fastball, it's 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch. Called strike, 0-2. I got to tell you, I love watching Stilson work with runners on base. Because he clearly has an idea of how to control the running game besides just throwing over to the bag. The 0-2, and it's on the outside corner, called strike 3. That's one good way to control the running game, just strike out 9 batters on the day. 9th strikeout through 5 for Stilson, and we'll move along into the 6th. The Spartans with a 4-1 lead coming up this inning for Case Western Reserve. It'll be the 9-1 and 2 hitters, Arterburn and Draco and Anderson. Lots of A's for the Spartans when we come back. It's 4-1, Case Western Reserve. 4-1 Spartans as we move into the bottom of the fifth. Case Western Reserve coming up to bat. Spartans have AAA this inning. Arterburn, Andraco, and Anderson due up. Arterburn leading things off, 0-for-1 with a strikeout swinging against Derdinger back in the second inning. Arterburn's average dipping below 300. Maybe for the first time in his career as a Spartan. He's down to 292 after that red-hot start, but again, what Nate has provided for this team is defense at short in the last couple games, the bunting ability. I mean, you know, you almost don't worry about the average right now. Whatever he gives you at the plate is a bonus. That's up and into Arterburn, and the count goes to 1-0. Especially with the way this team can hit. You can deal with a 292 hitting 9-hitter any day of the week. Here's the 1-0. Called strike, 1-1. And that one hit hard. Head coach Matt Englander has to dance out of the way down that third baseline. Does so successfully as the count goes to 1-2. And that one fouled back. Count stays at 1-2. Now the 1-2 on the way to Arterburn. Outside, 2-2. Sorry, this is Andraco at the plate, who reaches on a base hit. Second hit of the game for Andraco.
The Spartans catcher, number 5, Jack Anderson.
And so Andraco on for the second time today. Now Jack Anderson, who's 0-for-2, will step to the plate. And Anderson fouls that one back. 0-1. One and one now the count. And ground ball by Anderson, and that'll get down the line in left. And Draco waved around third. He's going to try to score, and will do so without a throw. An RBI double for Jack Anderson, and the Spartans now lead 5-1. So Jack Anderson getting into the act here. Gets an RBI double. 5th RBI of the season for Anderson, his 4th double of the year. And it's a called strike, 0-1 on Powers. So 5-1 now, Spartans with the lead. Trying to add on further. Powers pops this one up. Foul territory now to play, 0-2. James 0 for 1 on the game, was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the first. Flew out to center field in the third. Behind in the count, 0-2. Powers awaits. And 0-2 pitch from Derdinger. Action beginning in the Oswego bullpen. It looks like it'll start up in the Case Western Reserve bullpen, too. As, well, maybe just some milling out in the Spartans bullpen right now. And that one fouled into the Spartan dugout. Everyone okay as the count stays at 0-2. Oh, and 2 the count to Powers. Jack Anderson waiting at second base and 1 away. Pickoff attempt, Anderson diving back in. Bottom of the 5th inning, 1 run across already for the Spartans in the frame. They lead 5-1. Powers trying to get another one through. Anderson takes his lead from second. Powers awaits the pitch at the plate. He swings and lines it foul again. And so despite being behind in the count 0-2, Powers has already seen 4 pitches in this at-bat, fouling off 3 of them. We'll get another one here from Derdinger, who's now up to 80 pitches in the game. Count still at 0-2 on Powers. Derdinger trying to find a way to finish him off, delivers. And it's in the dirt for ball 1, 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Grounded foul. Now the 1-2 again. Outside, 2-2. This is turning into a tremendous at-bat here for Powers. He fell behind 0-2. And he was about to see his 8th pitch of the at-bat with the count now at 2-2. And lines that one foul. Two and two, 1 out, runner at second. Powers with a really good at bat here awaits the 2-2 pitch. And he takes it up and in, 3-2. These are the kinds of at-bats that, regardless of the outcome, can sometimes change the look of a game. This late in a game, making Derdinger throw this many pitches in a bat can have significant effects down the line here as well. Here's the 3-2. And it's called strike three on the outside corner, and Derringer comes out the winner in that one. But again, Powers really making him work there, and let's see now if maybe Harms can finish the job a little bit here. Harms 0 for 2 in the game, flew out to deep left his last time up, reached on an error and scored a run in the first. That was a 10-pitch at bat, by the way, for Powers. Derringer now up to 86 in the game, and his 87th is on the outside corner for a strike to Harms, and it's 0-1. One and one. Harms right now is just missing the baseball. He's come awfully close to parking a few of these over the wall, and they've fallen just short. The 1-1 on the way to Harms. Hit hard and through for a base hit. Anderson waved around third. The ball picked up in right, but no chance to get Anderson at the plate. And it's an RBI single for Nick Harms, who drives in his team-leading 15th run of the year. And the Spartans now lead 6-1. Well, the power numbers might not be there right now for Nick Harms, but the productivity numbers certainly are. And so now with 2 outs, Harms at first, Dane Camphausen will be the batter, and we'll get a meeting on the mound here. And with the pace of the walk, something tells me this is going to be a pitching change. Indeed it is. So we'll take a quick break here. 6-1 the score. Case Western Reserve leading over Oswego. 2 outs in the 5th and a runner on when we come back. Well, Oswego will go to their bullpen. And we'll turn to number 41, Grant Biederman, the junior righty out of South Huntington, New York, Walt Whitman High School, South Huntington out on Long Island. 5'10", 170 pounds. And the righty will come in with a runner on at first. And 2 away in the inning. The Spartans have 2 runs across in the frame. And now lead 6-1 over Oswego. Biederman with an ERA of 36 on the season. So he'll look to steady the ship here. Entering the game for starting pitcher Derringer, who is still responsible for the runner that's on at first. Made his only appearance of the season so far against Rowan. Allowed 4 runs on 3 hits with 3 walks. Runner goes. Pitch swung on and missed. Throw goes toward center field. But a good job by the shortstop, Winchester, to back it up. Stolen base for Harms as the count goes to 0-1 on Camphausen at the plate. For Harms, his second stolen base of the year. Now runner in scoring position for Camphausen, who already has driven in 3 in the game with a 3-run homer back in the first. He's now batting at .271. That one misses down and in. Count evens 1-1. Camphausen has also grounded out to short in the game today. So 1 for 2. He's now driven in 11 runs on the season, and he leads the team with 3 home runs. And fouled that one back, 1-2. All 3 of Camphausen's home runs have come down here in Lexington. He hit 1 against Oswego on Sunday night. Had 1 against Swarthmore, and then another one here against Oswego today. That one misses up high, and it's 2-2. Full count, 3-2. Here's a 3-2 offering. And Biederman steps off the mound. Now he'll settle back in. Gets a sign he likes. Full count, 2 away. The pitch to Camphausen. And it's hit in the air, high and deep to center field, but should hold the park. As getting over and making the catch on the track is McLaughlin, right in front of the 394 sign, and that'll end the inning. However, the Spartans add 2 more runs on 3 hits, RBIs for Harms and Anderson in the inning, and we'll move along into the 6th. Top of the order for Oswego, the Spartans lead, 6-1 the score. McLaughlin, Winchester, and McCarthy due up when we return. Well, the Spartans increase their lead to 5. It's now 6-1 as we move along into the 6th. Top of the order for Oswego. McLaughlin, Winchester, and McCarthy due up to face Tyler Stilson, who in his first collegiate start has looked really good so far. McLaughlin has struck out twice. 2 of the 9 strikeouts that Stilson has amassed today. His first pitch of the inning misses well outside, and it's 1-0. Now the 1-0 from Stilson. And it's up high, 2-0. Sometimes you see pitchers after a long inning, like the Spartans just had. Stilson was on the bench for a little bit. May take a few pitches for his arm to loosen up here, and we'll see if that's the case. 2-0 on the way. And that misses up high, 3-0. From Stilson. And swinging 3-0 is McLaughlin. And the count goes to 3-1. So swinging 3-0, down by 5 runs. A pitcher who hadn't thrown a strike yet this inning. 3-1. Another one fouled off, and all of a sudden, life for Stilson here. And even if you're aggressive at the plate, maybe not the best opportunity to take a cut 3-0. Here's the 3-2. And that ball hit in the air towards left field, and it will drop in front of Alonso for a base hit. So McLaughlin able to reach on the single to left, and then the leadoff man is on for just the second time today in the inning for Oswego State. The last time that happened, Oswego scored their only run of the game back in the second. That's just the third hit of the game allowed by Stilson. And it'll bring Daniel Winchester, who's 0 for 2, to the plate. And he's hit by the pitch. So all of a sudden, Stilson struggling a little bit to start the inning. And we'll see if the Spartans want to have a talk with him on the mound. Looks like they'll hold off for now. So first and second, again, if you're Stilson here, you're hoping for a quick inning after the Spartans scored 2 in the bottom of the 5th. That one misses down and out. And yeah, the Spartans will get that bullpen up and cooking now. And Stilson clearly not as sharp as he was prior to this inning. The 1-0 offering now to McCarthy, the 3-hitter in the lineup, batting at .345. Stilson from the stretch. And a little high, 2-0. I believe that's Austin McGowan warming up. Indeed it is. And Steve Grunberg, pitching coach for the Spartans, will head out and talk to Stilson here. So a meeting on the mound. So set to resume with a 2-0 count. Chopper, foul. And the count goes to 2-1. Stilson up to 88 pitches now, and again, making his first collegiate start. First what will probably be many for him. He's someone who's going to factor into this rotation in the future. We've seen Stilson a lot at shortstop this year. Here's a 2-1 offering. And fouled off again. And the count evens 2-2. So Stilson has come back throwing strikes. It's now 2-2 on McCarthy with Parliament waiting out on deck. 90th pitch of the game coming up here for Stilson. Here's the 2-2. On the inside corner, called strike 3. Strikeout number 10 for Stilson. His 10 strikeout game coming just one game removed from Quinn Saunders, another first-year pitcher. His 14 strikeout game on Tuesday. And so now it'll be up to Owen Parliament with 1 out and 2 on. Parliament walked and struck out in his 2 plate appearances today, batting at .370. The cleanup hitter for the Lakers awaits the first pitch from Stilson. Runners will go. Throw goes down to second, and it's airmailed into center field. It'll go as a double steal and an error on the throw that allows both runners to move up. And it makes it a 6-2 game. So Jack Anderson opting to throw behind to the trailing runner, and it ends up costing the Spartans a run. Meanwhile, it's an 0-1 count at the plate. And that one blocked, 1-1. So it's a 4-run game again, 6-2 the score. Stilson takes a step off the mound. Yeah, you could just tell with Tyler, his pace is slowing down a little bit right now. Definitely coming towards the end of what's a pretty good all-around day. We'll ask if he went around, but Parliament held up. And the count stays at 2-1. And that in the air, deep towards right, but arcing right at Harms, who lines it up, makes the catch. Runner will tag. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's a great throw. The tag is applied, but not in time. Oh, boy. Yeah, the throw kind of pulled Anderson back towards the first base side of home plate. And as good of a throw as it was just not in time to get Winchester, but the fact that there was a play at all at the plate on that one is a credit to the arm of Nick Harms. So Winchester scores. It cuts the lead to 3. And the bases are now empty with 2 away for Jelani Hammer. He takes that down and out for ball 1. Swing and a miss. Count evens, 1-1 on Hammer. Hammer 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice and a walk in the game today. Two and 1. Stilson trying to get one final out before he turns it over to the bullpen. 2-1 the count with 2 outs in the 6th. Down and away, 3-1. And ball 4, didn't miss by much. The walk issued to Hammer. So 2 outs, a runner on now for Jacob Levine, and he'll face a new pitcher here as Stilson's day is done with 99 pitches. The Spartans will make the call to the bullpen. We'll be back in just a minute. Case Western Reserve leading 6-3 here in the 6th. Austin McGowan, the new pitcher on the mound for the Spartans, who will take over for Tyler Stilson. It's a 3-run lead. We'll get you the final numbers on Stilson in a sec, but first, for McGowan, who takes the hill here in relief. Austin, a big piece of this Spartan bullpen this year. A little bit of a rocky start, 4 appearances. He has 1 save through 7 1/3. He's given up just 7 hits, but has walked 6 as well, and allowed 8 total runs, 10 strikeouts through those 7 1/3. He'll come into the game here with 2 outs and a runner on, the potential game-time run in the on-deck circle, and Levine is the batter, and he takes a called for a strike. Levine has struck out twice today, and he's now struck out 10 times through 7 games this season. Pickoff attempt at first, not in time. Hammer's already been picked off once today. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Runner goes. The pitch swung on, hit hard to short. Backhanded by Arterburn. Long throw to first, and it's a little offline and gets away. They'll send the runner home. Here comes the throw of the plate. It's not in time. And somehow Hammer, on a ground ball to short, is able to score from first and make it a 2-run game. Great base running there. So it'll go as a single to short, and then Hammer, who never stopped running, scores on an error on the throw. So that'll be the second error of the game for the Spartans. No RBI on the play, and it's an unearned run. And all of a sudden now, the potential game-tying run coming to the plate here for the Spartans, or for the Lakers, in the form of Felix de Aza de la Cruz, who is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. And that one chopped toward short. Arterburn has it, flips over to Carinci, covering the bag for the out. And the inning is over. But the damage done in the frame by Oswego, which has gotten itself back into the game. They score 3 runs on a pair of hits. 2 errors and a man left on. We'll move along into the bottom of the 6th. The Spartans will look to get it back here, sending Carinci, Alonso, and Walker to the plate. 6-4 the score when we return. One and one the count on Zach Carinci, who's 0 for 2 today in his return to the lineup. Now the 1-1 from Biederman in their first strike, 1 and 2. The 1-2 offering to Carinci. And that ball hitting the air, shallow right, dropping quickly and in for a base hit for Carinci. So good for Zach to see him get back into the swing of things with a base hit. Coming on 2 strikes, and that's what Zach will do to you. You know, Zach's father, Larry, has been coming up to me before every game when I bring the lineup up to the press box, and he looks at me and has asked me to give him a thumbs up or thumbs down with Zach's in the lineup or not. And every day I've kind of given the thumbs down since we've been here. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see Larry today to give him a thumbs up. I don't know where he's at today, but certainly a good sign to see Zach get a base hit here. Coach Englander is going to call Franco Alonso over to have a word with him as he steps up to the plate here. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, 6-4 the score. The Spartans leading. They've led by as many as 5, but a 3-run top of the inning by Oswego cut the Spartans' lead back to 2, as close as it's been since the 2nd inning. Alonso 1 for 2 today with a solo home run to the opposite field in the first. Struck out looking his last time. Up squares to bunt here. Carinci running. The throw is in time. And the play is made, so that will be the first out of the inning. 2-4 on the caught stealing. 0-2 now the count. And that one hit towards the right field and will get him for a base hit. Big turn for Alonso, but another 2-strike hit for the Spartans here in the 6th. The team's 8th hit of the game. And the Spartans have a man on for Carson Walker.
That's one other defensive change for Oswego. Now playing second base, number 22, Jake Daniluk. The batter for the Spartans, number 19, the designated hitter, Carson Walker.
Walker 0 for 2 in the game. And he hits that one to short. Could be 2 to second for 1 on to first, and it skips away and gets out of play, and Walker will head to second. Throwing error on the second baseman. It'll be a fielder's choice for Walker.
The shortstop for Case Western Reserve, number 4, Nate Arterburn.
So 2 outs and a runner in scoring position now for Case Western Reserve, and Nate Arterburn will be the batter. One on Arterburn. And he hits that one down the line. Extra bases for Arterburn. Walker will turn the corner, and he'll come in to score. Arterburn pulls into second with a double. And a big hit there for Nate, who was 0 for 2 previously, but gets a big hit for the Spartans to add on to their lead. It's now 7-4. Big 2-out RBI hit there. So Arterburn coming up big. Spartans lead back to 3 now. 3rd hit of the inning for Case Western Reserve. And Draco, who's 2 for 3 with base hits in each of his last 2 at-bats, now hitting at .392 on the year. Takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Now the 1-0. Takes a cut at a ball down and in, 1-1. Called strike, 1-2. Ground ball to second, should end the inning. Scooped by the new second baseman. That's Jake Daniluk, who throws on to first in time to get the out, and that'll end the inning. But the Spartans score 1 on 3 hits, and we'll move into the 7th. It's a 3-run game. Spartans with the lead, 8, 9, and 1 due up for Oswego when we return. It'll be Barone, Daniluk, and Brzozowski when we come back. 7-4 the score. Spartans leading over the Lakers here as we move along into the 7th. Austin McGowan got the final out of the 6th inning and remains on here with a clean sheet to start the 7th inning. Final line in the first career start for Tyler Stilson. 5 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of them earned. He walked 3 and struck out 10 in the game. 10 strikeouts for Stilson in 5 2/3. He's currently in line for the win. If McGowan and the rest of the staff can hold it, it's a 3-run game right now, and the first pitch breaking ball to Barone is in there for a called strike, 0-1. It'll be Barone first, and then it appears to be number 32 out on deck as that one's grounded over to short, and the play is made. And so this will be Trey McGowan. So that, I think it was actually Trey McGowan who probably came into that game and not Daniluk.
For the Lakers, number 32, Trey McGowan.
So McGowan will be the hitter here. It's an all McGowan matchup right now. Austin versus Trey. And that one misses down and in for a ball, 1-0. So Austin McGowan facing Trey McGowan with the 1-0 pitch on the way and 1 away in the inning. Base is empty. Called strike. And the count evens 1-1. Down and in for a ball, 2-1. Ground ball hit hard towards short. Handled by Arterburn on a hop. Throw to first is low and not in time. Base hit to short for McGowan. So Trey McGowan wins the battle of the McGowans here. And so there's a runner on at first now with 1 away. And back to the top of the order, and this will bring up another new entry into the game, the center fielder, Brian Brzezowski. Brzezowski getting his first at bat after coming in as defensive replacement last inning. He's hitting at .063 on the season. Foul tips to the first pitch back. It's 0-1. Well, Austin McGowan, a chance to help preserve a win here for the Spartans. He's working with a 3-run lead. And I would imagine this could very well be his game to finish as long as he can manage his pitch count here and prevent runs from coming across. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Not in time. Runner goes. The pitch swung on a miss. Throw down to second, and it is in time for the out. So the swing in the midst of the plate brings the count to 1-2. The Spartans get the second out at second. Carinci applied the tag, so a 2-4 put out. And McGowan now a strike away from getting through a scoreless seventh, keeping it a 3-run game. One, two. Checks his swing. Spartans won't ask in the field for it. Brzezowski has worked the count to 2-2 here with 2 away. Two from McGowan. From the stretch with the bases empty. Leg kick and a delivery. Swung on and missed at strike 3. Anderson in some trouble finding it, but launches the throw to first. Camphausen gives him the big high target. And that will end the inning.
For the Lakers, no runs on. One hit, no errors, and no one left on
So the Spartans get through a scoreless seventh. We'll move to the bottom of the frame, and it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Case Western Reserve, Anderson, Powers, and Harms when we come back. Two, 3, and 4 for the Spartans due up in their half of the seventh, leading 7-4. Anderson, Powers, and Harms trying to add on to the advantage here. Give a little bit more breathing room for Austin McGowan to work with. Anderson stepping to the plate. He's got a couple hits again today. Actually, 1 hit, 1 for 3 with an RBI double. And in the count here, 1-0 against Biederman. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside corner for a strike, 1-1. And that one fouled off. 1-2 now on Anderson. Just a little outside, 2-2. Now the 2-2 pitch. And inside, and it hits him. So Anderson hit with a 2-strike pitch. And he'll be on base to lead the inning off. So he'll be on at first. Speed threat out there as well, and we may get a pitching change here. And in fact, we will. Pitching change for Oswego. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to Lexington County Stadium. His new pitcher on the mound for Oswego will be Dominic Gallio-Tafiori, the first-year lefty out of Bethpage, New York, Bethpage High School. They bring in the lefty to face a couple lefties here for the Spartans. Powers and Harms with a man on and nobody out. Anderson is a stolen base threat with the lefty on the mound. We'll see how he is on the base pass here. Powers takes a first pitch strike and the count goes to 0-1.
Fans quick note, our concession stand is shutting down shortly.
Gallio-Tafiori delivers one and it's fouled off.
Once again, last call, our concession stand is cutting off and are shutting down.
Powers 0 for 2 in the game. Hit by a pitch and scored a run in the first. Also struck out looking and is flown out to center field. Behind in the count here, 0-2. And a little outside, 1-2. Good pitch by Gallio-Tafiori. Down and out for a ball, 2-2. If I'm not mistaken, making his first appearance of the season as well here today. Comes into a 3-run game. Is that one off the third baseman's glove? Flipped to second, not in time, and everyone's safe. And Jack Anderson moves up to third on the play as it bounces away. So we'll have to take a look at that, but I believe the scoring is going to be a hit and an error, because no one was on at third. So that's not even an error. That's just a hit and really smart base running. I'm going to have to watch it again here and see. But no one covered third base, and Jack Anderson made it all the way to third on that. Yeah, there was just no one covering third. And so Anderson moved up on it. So, yeah, that's not an error. That's just really, really good alert base running by a veteran hitter. So Anderson at third, Powers at first, and that one swung on by Harms, hit towards the hole and threw for another base hit. Powers will try for third. Here comes the throw, and it is in time. So it'll be an RBI single for Nick Harms. Powers out on the play. Score at 9-5. Anderson in to score. And it does increase the Spartans' lead to 8. 8-4 now the score. Really good throw by the right fielder, Deaza de la Cruz. And now Dane Camphausen will bat with a runner on and one away. First pitch to Camphausen. In the dirt for a ball, and Harms will move up on a wild pitch. Camphausen 1 for 3 in the game with a 3-run homer back in the first inning. His third home run in the last 5 games. The 1-0 inside gets away again. Not far enough for Harms to advance as the count goes to 2-0. Gallio-Tafiori on the mound, delivers. Fouled off. I'm just saying it over and over again to show off here, Chris. That's all, you know. Chris Thompson, our awesome PA announcer down here. That went in the dirt, 3-1. And inside ball 4. So Camphausen draws the walk, and that'll bring up Zach Carinci with 2 on and 1 away. Carinci picked up a base hit in his last at bat, and we'll have a meeting on the mound here, it appears. I don't think we're getting a pitching change. So the meeting on the mound breaks up.
The batter for the Spartans, the second baseman, number 31, Zach Carinci.
Called strike to start the at bat against Carinci, 0-1. Zach's average at 136, but if he's feeling good, that'll climb very quickly. Misses a little outside there. It's 1-1. And it wouldn't shock me if he is healthy and plays in today's game and both games tomorrow if he leaves South Carolina hitting over 300. Inside, 2-1. But again, for Zach, the question is never ability. It's just, is he healthy? We'll see. Certainly a good sign that he's in the game today and playing second base. That one's up the middle for a base hit. Harms around third. He'll come in to score. RBI single for Zach Carinci. And boy, it's good to see him back. That is what Zach will do to you. Just base hits, drive-in runs. And just like that, it's 9-4. The Spartans adding to their lead. So now first and second with 1 away for Franco Alonso, who has a solo home run to his name so far today. Takes that one on the outside corner for a strike. Alonso 2 for 3, also had a base hit. And hits that in the air. Deep towards right at the wall, and it is gone! Franco Alonso, his second of the game. Well, what a story for Alonso, who came to Case Western Reserve as a graduate transfer from Cornell, where he didn't play a ton throughout his career there, gets to Case Western Reserve, has already been a spark this year, and now has hit 2 opposite field home runs in this game, the first 2 of his career. And this one puts the Spartans way ahead. It's now 12-4.
The Spartans' designated hitter, number 19, Carson Walker.
Well, the Spartans now have sent 6 men to the plate this inning, and all have reached. Now Carson Walker turns on one and sprays it deep but foul. He was a little out in front of it. The count is now at 0-1 on Walker. Outside for a ball, 1-1. So the Spartans pulling away. They've scored 5 so far here in the bottom of the 7th. And that one hit hard to short. Bobbled, picked up, thrown to first, and not in time. It'll be an error on the shortstop. Third error of the game for Oswego. And now Nate Arterburn due up. And we'll see, we may get a defensive change here. Well, we'll get a pinch runner. And that will be Tommy Moonen, I believe, who will be getting into the game to pinch run for Carson Walker.
Now running at first base for Case Western Reserve, number 11, Tommy Moonen.
So Moonen, pinch running for Walker. And now Nate Arterburn, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI double in his last at bat, checks his swing at a pitch on the outer portion of the plate for a called strike 0-1. Still just 1 out in the inning. Ground ball, right side of the infield and through for a base hit. So second hit of the game for Arterburn. Moonen stopping at second. And so 2 on, still with just 1 out. And Logan Andreyko will be the 9th batter of the inning for the Spartans.
The Spartan center fielder, number 7, Logan Andreyko.
Ball's in the dirt, 1-0. Two and 0. Well, the Spartans have certainly broken out here today. They've now scored 23 runs in their last 2 games. And now it's 3-0. And Gallo Taffiori may be working on a short leash here at this point. The 3-0. Ball 4, and that will load up the bases. A 4-pitch walk to Andreyko. And now Jack Anderson steps to the plate for the second time this inning. He'll come up with the bases loaded and just 1 out. Anderson was hit by a pitch. He was the final batter to face the previous reliever, Grant Biederman. Biederman hit him and then was pulled from the game. Since then, it's been Gallo Taffiori who's come in and has gotten hit hard by the Spartans. Anderson will get a shot against him here. First pitch, Anderson swings, line drive, left field, base hit. 1 run in to score, rounding the corner at third, and coming in as well will be Arterburn. A 2 RBI single for Jack Anderson, and the Spartans now lead 14-4. So still just 1 out in the inning, and I think we'll get another pitching change here. The score is 14-4 when we come back. James Powers will be the batter. New pitcher on the mound is Tanner Ennin. Ennin, a sophomore out of McKinney, Texas. Right-handed pitcher, 6'1", 205 pounds, McKinney Boyd High School. Tanner Ennin, the righty, facing the lefty Powers. 10 batters up this inning for the Spartans. That one grounded hard to first. First baseman has it. Will step on the bag for the second out of the inning. The other two runners each advance. And so, as the first time this inning that a batter has made an out for the Spartans. It is, though, the second out of the inning. Powers, earlier in the frame, was caught trying to make it to third from first on a base hit. That's how the other out came about. And so now it'll be up to Nick Harms, who hits here with 2 outs and 2 in scoring position. And he lifts that one fouling out of play, 0-1. Now the 0-1 to Harms, who has already driven in a pair today. Misses for ball 1, 1-1 the count. 14-4, the Spartans with the lead. 15 hits in the game for Case Western Reserve. The 1-1. And fouled off again, 1-2. Harms 2 for 4 in the game. He's scored 2 runs, driven in a pair, stolen a base. Average now up to 265 for the year as he takes that down and out for a ball, 2-2. The only starter in the game for the Spartans who doesn't have a hit today is Carson Walker. As that's a little outside. Full count, 3-2. First base open, but you have to imagine Ennin is going to challenge Harms here with his team down 10. Ennin making his collegiate debut here in the game. 3-2. And that ball hit in the air deep towards right center field, but the park will hold it. Coming over is Deaza de la Cruz to make the catch. And the inning is over, but not before the Spartans score 7 in the inning, on 6 hits. And the Spartans, who send 12 batters to the plate in the inning, have now taken a 14-4 lead. We'll move along into the 8th. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the Oswego lineup. Winchester, McCarthy, and Parliament due up when we come back. Welcome back as we'll get a new pitcher on the mound for the Spartans will be Patrick O'Connor. And the new batter
The batter for Oswego as we
at
start
the
the
plate
number 3, Blake Van Driesen.
will be Blake Van Driesen, who will pinch it for Winchester here. So might be at the point in the game where both teams may turn to their bench a bit. O'Connor delivers a first pitch strike in his first appearance of the season. O'Connor, a big piece of this bullpen last year, but some arm issues early in the season for the 6'5", 200-pound senior out of Austin, Texas. Looking sharp so far here as the count goes to 0-2. O'Connor coming off of a great year last year. Really cemented the back end of games along with Tyler Horvath. And again, if he can get healthy, that just adds to this team's bullpen's depth. Fouled off by Van Driesen, who is hitting at 300 on the season. Get another pinch hitter out on deck. Looks like Stephen Haglund will hit next for McCarthy. Little outside, 1-2. Top of the 8th inning, 14-4, Spartans with the lead. And boy, that just missed for a ball, 2-2. Good job by Jack Anderson to try to frame that on the lower portion of the strike zone, but couldn't get the call. And so 2-2 now on Van Driesen. Down and out, ball 3, 3-2. Again, if you're O'Connor here, you're coming into the game first time this season. You're working with a 10-run lead. The biggest thing you can do, the most important thing you can do here is just make sure you're throwing strikes. Ground ball chopped to third. Powers there. Throw on to first in time to get the first out of the inning. Yep. Unless Oswego State has invented the 10-run home run, you're probably safe throwing strikes here today and just trying to get the Lakers to hit into outs.
Now batting for the Lakers, number 44, Stephen Haglund.
Stephen Haglund now will be the batter. Pinch hitting for McCarthy. Haglund hitting at 333 on the year. Takes a called strike, 0-1. That one hit down the line. Harms gives a good look at it, but it lands in the bullpen, and the count goes to 0-2. Now, the other good news if you're the Spartans right now is that with McGowan coming out of the game, after having thrown just 14 pitches, he should be available for tomorrow's doubleheader if needed. And he probably will be needed at some point tomorrow. It's down low for a ball, 1-2. I would imagine Reese Marley would be coming back on normal rest to pitch one of the games tomorrow, as that's inside and hits Haglund. And so the 1-2 pitch puts a runner on with one away. And it looks like we'll get another pinch hitter here. This will be Jake Lukashevitz coming to the plate.
The batter for Oswego, number 33, Jake Lukashevitz.
So Lukashevitz steps in. Runner at first, one away. Yeah, you got to figure tomorrow Reese Marley probably coming back to start one of the two games. Second game is probably going to be a team effort. Frankly, it wouldn't shock me if Maybe it's Austin McGowan starting that game tomorrow. Having him work like a starter and go an inning or two. An opener, I guess it would be. 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. O'Connor gets the strikeout, and there are 2 gone in the inning. Well, the Spartan pitching staff has had a bit of a renewed emphasis the last few days on making sure the pitchers are keeping the ball down.
The batter for Oswego, number 13, Brett Myers.
Hammer's day will be done, by the way. We'll get our 4th pinch hitter of the inning for Oswego. It'll be Brett Myers. As that one misses outside for a ball. Throw down to first, not in time. Two and 0. Outside corner for a strike, 2-1. Three and 1 as that one misses inside to Myers. These two teams will play again tomorrow in the late game. Now slated for a 1:30 start tomorrow. And it misses outside, ball 4.
Now batting for Oswego, number 45, Dylan Decker.
And we'll get another pinch hitter here. This will be Dylan Decker. The righty takes it down low for a ball, 1-0. And foul tipped off, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 offering. Long look back from O'Connor, now to the plate. Called strike, 1-2. And 1-2 to Decker. That's down low for a ball, 2-2. Two-two from O'Connor. 2 out, 2 on, 2-2 count. And on the inside corner, called strike 3, and that'll end the 8th. So Decker strikes out looking. The Spartans keep their 10-run lead intact. We'll move to the bottom of the 8th. Might be the last at bat for the Spartans, who lead by 10, 14-4 the score. Camphausen, Carinci, and Alonso due up when we come back. Two 2-0 the count on Zach Carinci, who has hits in each of his last 2 at-bats after Dane Camphausen flew out to start the inning. Pretty much an entire new lineup out there for Oswego State. Benjamin Silverman now catching. We've got Deshaun Featherstone now in right field. Had a handful of other changes as well. All the pinch hitters stayed in the game. So that's a called strike, and it brings the count to 3-1. Three-one on the way to Carinci. And outside corner, called strike, full count 3-2. Franco Alonso out on deck. He's already hit 2 home runs today. And foul back by Currency. 3-2. Here's a 3-2. And that one's lined into left, and it's a base hit for Currency. Well, great to see Zach back in the game, swinging it well. And we will get a pinch runner for Currency. And that will be Josiah Harris, who will come in. Josiah is in the game as a pinch runner and will likely stay in and play second base. So Franco Alonso, maybe I should start calling him Pete after his showing today. A pair of opposite field home runs for Alonso. Hits that one to short, should be two. Flip to the second baseman for one, on to first. The ball will get away, and Alonso will move up to second, except the throw comes in, and it is in time for the out. And that will end the inning. So Alonso hits into a fielder's choice, and then after the throw is errant, they throw him out trying to move up to second. So that'll end the eighth. Last chance for Oswego coming up. It's 14-4. Welcome back once again. Some defensive changes for the Spartans, as Deshaun Featherstone leads things off here for Oswego. Takes a strike and then a ball. 1-1 the count. 10-run lead for Case Western Reserve. Patrick O'Connor trying to close it out. That one's down low for ball 2, 2-1. Josiah Harris stays in the game. He'll play left field. Grant Price checks in. He'll be batting 7th and playing second base. A little low and in. Full count 3-2 on Featherstone. And line drive towards short and through for a base hit. So single for Featherstone. Handcuffed Arterburn a little bit. But it'll go as a base hit, and there's one on with nobody out. for the catcher getting his first at bat. This will be Benjamin Silverman. And a called strike, 0-1. Line foul, 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And there's one gone here in the 9th. Well, Spartans will certainly get a little bit of momentum off of this game. As Trey McGowan will be the batter. Ball 1, 1-0. Two and 0. Fouled off, 2-1. Line drive into left field. That'll be a base hit. So McGowan with the single to left. Featherstone stops at second. And there's 2 on with 1 out now. And it looks like we'll get another pinch hitter here. Emil Sander. So Sander getting his first at bat of the game. Ground ball hit towards first. Fielded there by Demetrius. He'll make the smart move. Flip over to O'Connor, who dropped the ball, and they'll say he's safe. Well, Demetrius probably needed to get to the bag himself. Everyone moves up, and now it'll be bases loaded with 1 out. So the base is loaded for Van Driesen, who's getting his second at bat of the game after grounding out to third in his first trip to the plate. And one misses outside, ball 1. Ground ball to second. To second for 1, on to first, not in time. Throw gets away. And that will allow a second runner to score. The Spartans do get a second out. So Van Driesen, an RBI fielder's choice. So Van Driesen, the runner at first. 2 runners scored, so it's now 14-6. And that one's fouled off by Haglund. Count goes to 1-1. In the air, this should do it. Left field, charging in is Harris, and he will make the catch, and that will end the game. So the Spartans dominant today. 10 strikeouts for Tyler Stilson, 2 home runs for Franco Alonso, and Case Western Reserve cruises to the win. Final score, 14-6. The Lakers drop to 3-6 on the campaign with the loss. Case Western Reserve improves to 8-4. Winning pitcher today is Tyler Stilson. Congratulations to him on picking up the first win of his collegiate career. The loss goes to Sean Derdinger, who drops to 1-1 on the year for the following it. Today's game lasted 2 hours and 59 minutes, and attendance here today was 182 for the ball game. Want to thank everyone once again for joining us. A reminder that we will be back with you tomorrow. Again, a 10 a.m. start now tomorrow for our final 2 games for the Spartans here this weekend, as they will start off against Ithaca at 10 a.m. and then face Oswego State again at 1:30. Have a great afternoon, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Final score, once again, Case Western Reserve wins 14-6.